The Happy House is at Mama's Happy again today. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, welcome back.
What do you have up your sleeve for me today?
It's super fun.
Let's go.
Okay, so I thought this would be super cute hanging in your kitchen. So we have taken just a piece of old barn wood, and you could use anything to make this. If you had a piece of wood, maybe it wasn't even old, now you know how to paint it to make it look old.
Yes,
right?
we could just use chalk paint, sand it down,
Yep.
and make it have a distressed finish. This piece actually is really distressed and it looks amazing.
This is authentic.
Yes. Thanks.
Okay, so then these letters you can just pick up at any craft store. They're very inexpensive, but you can paint them to look like they are the old letters, which you're going to spend a lot more money on.
So these are sort of like just pressed board or something.
Yep.
And how much do you think one of these costs?
Oh, you know, of course I always wait for a coupon, but I would say they're probably about $2 to $3 a piece at this size.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we're going to just, we went ahead and painted this letter earlier to give you a feel for what it would look like. So Greek blue was a color you had mentioned you wanted to see what it looked like. So as you've learned in all your visits out here, you can paint it on there however you like. It doesn't need to be nice and neat. The goal is that you're making it look like it's been worn and, you know, some places have worn off.
I love this color.
It's a beautiful blue. Okay, so you're just going to get that all, you know, covered, and as always, you can cover as little or as much as you want to.
Right.
So if, let's say, you know, on this particular letter, we were not trying to cover everything that we put on with our first coat. What you're trying to reproduce is that you found these letters from different places, and so they are different ages.
Okay, so now how do we attach the letters to the board here?
Okay, so we've got a couple different options. One is just simply wood glue, and so we've got the wood glue on the back here. Just spread that around a little bit. Okay, and we've got a little bit on the board.
It's nicely covered, but you don't want it oozing out.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you want it spread nice and thin all over.
And then just put
And
it.
just put it straight down.
Maybe I should put this A on here
Sure.
so I know where I want it to go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's good. All right, and press down. And then whenever you use a product like wood glue, you always want to take something heavy and weight it down. Okay, and then another way, if you happen to be lucky enough to have the correct power tools.
Yeah, because you told me this was going to take 2 hours.
This will take at least 2 hours
I don't
to
even
dry.
have 2 minutes.
Okay, so you want to get this thing done and hung.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so reach right over there. I've got my favorite, I know, it's a power stapler, and you can use brads in it as well because they are just a tiny, tiny nail. And put some pressure on that thing. There you go. Well,
Oh no.
that's all right. It's all right. It could be the barn wood. Sometimes the barn wood is just
Oh, so hard.
so hard. Correct.
Let's try this again.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then this T is glued on, but maybe we should add, I kind of want to see how this looks hanging on a wall. Oh, I just got blue paint on there.
You told me you were messy. I didn't believe you. You are messy. Okay, so now what you could do here, you can either just wipe that paint off. The other thing you could do is just add a little bit of random blue with your brush.
Okay,
and
kind of like dry brushing because there's not much paint.
Yep, and make it look intentional.
Oh, yeah.
I meant to do that.
See?
So that's the thing when people say they're not crafty, they're not creative, a lot of it is you just have to let go of your inhibitions and
It
not
all
worry
happens
about
for a
it.
reason.
It does.
All right.
Okay.
Actually, I like this because this is mostly green with some of the black, and this is mostly black with some of the blue.
I love it.
Okay, Amanda, how do I attach this to my wall?
Okay, so depending on what you're using, now since this is narrow, then I would just do the simple sawtooth
Okay.
piece.
So
if it
it's
was
not even that
wider,
wide.
then you'd want to do a piece of wire.
Okay, so this is called the sawtooth hanger, which I've always called it kind of the jagged edge thing.
You call it whatever you want, or you can do the universal sign for.
Okay. So
All
now,
right. Now the trickiest thing with these, honestly, are these little tiny nails. And you always want to make sure that you're getting it in the middle. Now my husband would measure, I never measure, but so what do you think?
I think that's about right.
I'm not sure I trust you with my finger there.
Really?
All right, that'll do.
Perfect. So this is something, if you didn't want to put a hanger on, you certainly could lean it, but like in my kitchen, I don't have a lot of counter space, so I would want to hang this on the wall. This looks really great. Thanks. I can't wait for our next adventure.
I always love having you.